watching the Burbs. Ooh, the Burbs.
The Burbs, hey. Yo. I've been watching a crazy amount of movies in the last few days.
Well, it's Halloween month, so.
Like, shit that's, like, just random shit. I watched The Dentist 1 and 2 today.
Wow, you got through part 2? The one with Clint Howard in it?
Yeah, I made it.
Back off, Freako. It's me, Clint Howard.
Doc! Yo, his scene was actually really stupid and funny because all he kept doing was saying is, I swear, I know you from somewhere. I never forget a face.
I never forget a potential serial killer's face. I do like Corbin Burnson though.
Yeah, he fucking kills it in that. Hey,
yeah, like him in most stuff.
Welcome to the Film Section podcast.
We're talking about the dentist instead of the Burbs.
We're just talking about the dentist. Spoiler alert.
Obscure direct to HBO horror movie.
No, it's not. I lied. It's not about the dentist.
Oh, we got everybody's hopes up.
Yeah, sorry guys. Maybe future. Today's episode is about the Burbs. And what is the topic, Mark?
The topic's a little weird for this one. There's something that I call like the Ghostbusters line, where when is a horror movie or a horror comedy more just a straight up comedy? Because Ghostbusters, I don't really consider a horror comedy. I just consider that a flat out comedy movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the Burbs kind of teeters on that line a little bit, where it's got horror elements, but I would say it's really more of a flat out comedy than it is horror comedy. And I think there's a couple of movies that kind of ride that line.
This is like this movie is it's like neighbors playing pranks on each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. kind of suburban paranoia too.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
It's cool. The horror elements in this, they're not too dark. Like they're pretty they are relatively lighthearted. Compared to,
it for some reason, like if the Burbs sort of it puts me to mind a lot of Fright Night.
Yeah.
Like I think it's pretty similar. In that the neighbors move in and you think that
it has that kind of rear window aspect to it, where it's like one neighbor is like extremely paranoid of another. Yeah, and that's absolutely like the same tone as Fright Night and whatnot. That's kind of the cool thing about this movie, because visually all the horror shit is like really cool. And it does have like a satisfying conclusion to the entire story.
Yeah,
in
that's
general.
got a great cast.
Yeah, holy shit!
I love the cast. Corey Feldman is awesome in this movie.
Dern, has Bruce Dern been in his 50s for his entire life? Because holy shit. Every movie I've seen him in, he looks like he's like 50 or between 50 and 60 years old.
My favorite
good on him.
My favorite person in this movie is the best person in this movie, and that's Rick Dukeman's character. The fucking guy.
The next door neighbor.
Yeah, he fucking kills it, dude.
Well, dude, he's one of those guys, like, you've seen in like a ton of movies, but I can never like remember his name, but he's always like memorable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely like really cool. I mean, there's like, Corey Feldman's in this too, and this was like right in his frog brother stage in life, apparently. And he's like a fun like little addition to the movie. It's before he like kind of went off the rails, but it's like
we're still at the stage we're still at the stage in his career where every movie has to at least dress up like Michael Jackson once.
Dude, you know the story, like Michael Jackson like came on set and he brought his chimp with him, and the chimp got thrown out for smearing feces everywhere. Which, as we know after Nope, is like, you know, the best case scenario for bringing a chimp on
Yeah.
a movie set. That's like, it's like, all right, you got off lucky there. All I had to do was clean up some shit. But yeah, dude, character wise, this movie fucking rules. Like, I mean, this is when Tom Hanks was like at his more comedic stage, not necessarily like his. It came out in 1989.
This was post big, pre Philadelphia.
Yeah, like he like people knew he could do like drama and whatnot. But he was still very much in that kind of type role of like Bachelor Party and like movies like that kind of.
Yeah.
To an extent. Oh, maybe not like that, you know, extensive, but he was like very famous for being like playing like kind of like free-willing bachelor like characters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, totally characters in the movie are fucking awesome.
But yeah, I mean, the plot, you know, the premise of the movie is pretty basic. You know, Tom Hanks is having a little staycation. You know,
Yeah.
and
Literally just not going to work, and that's how most Americans
yeah,
Dude,
at this point have only have the
he
option.
absolutely is like pushing the narrative of like, yo, I just want to chill at home and be lazy, and everyone else in the movie, it's so weird. Everyone else in the movie is like, why you want to sit at home?
Well, I mean, again, this was 1989, so this was kind of like a little bit different. Like if you took a vacation, I think, I mean, granted I wasn't alive in 1989, but it was this thing of like if you took a vacation, people would usually assume that you were going to go somewhere. Like you were going to take the family, load up in a car and go like across the country or go to, you know, wherever.
Actually get out of the house.
Yeah. And so I think it's funny for a movie like this where, because nowadays we watch it and it's like, yeah, like I want to stay at home for like a week or whatever. I don't want to do it like, you know, like I don't want to do anything.
Not everybody has the money like for it either. Like, you know, like sometimes that's the funnest thing to do is just kind of sit at home for a few days and just kind of like, you know, make butthead noises.
But yeah, so
yes, I'm enjoying that right now.
But Chris, you said that you like watched this movie pretty recently.
It's on my TV right now.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm currently watching it.
I put it on like 45 minutes ago, and I have the sound down, and it's on my TV. But
I don't know. This episode's a mess already. I'm sorry, guys.
You're fine, dude.
But so I'm just looking at the back. I actually didn't realize. I never knew this was directed by Joe Dante.
Oh hell yeah!
It's a very Joe Dante film.
Yeah, I mean, now that I see it, it's like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. But I never realized it.
It's like prime Joe Dante too.
I don't.
Like,
you know what? I don't
like bangers.
I don't know up until today that I knew that
it was directed by Joe Dante.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on this. I just thought about it right now. I always just used to watch this movie and not like think about or like pay attention to the credits really.
Yeah, they never paid attention to
the movie, but like I'm paying attention to the movie so much I never cared to be like, oh, I wonder who directed that or looked it up or anything like that.
Well, dude, Joe Dante is definitely one of those directors. Like I think I consider him like in that category with Tony Scott, where he just makes like fun movies, like fun, entertaining movies.
We're in we're kind of the Joe Dante fan club here. I think this is like maybe the second. I think this is the second movie we've done on the podcast.
How funny would it be if like a little video or a little stream of Joe Dante pops up? He's like, "Hey guys,
hey guys,
Joe Dante, what are you doing here?"
What other Joe Dante movies have we done?
I know
we talked about Gremlins.
What?
We definitely did Matinee.
Yeah, our lost episode that never.
we went on for a bit about Gremlins too.
Yeah.
But like The Howling, this movie, like Gremlins,
Yeah.
he definitely is like one of those directors that just like dished out like fun ass movies. Like, you know, never a bad thing for a filmmaker.
Not at
No,
all.
no. I mean, he's a super fun, like he's a super fun filmmaker. I think I do remember Matinee. And yeah, that is like our lost episode because I don't know what happened to that episode that we recorded like almost a year ago now. It's just gone.
Yeah, it was an early episode.
Yeah, it was an early episode. I remember like it cut out at like the very end or something.
It's on the dark web
Yeah,
now.
dude, yeah, that was pretty frustrating. We had the whole thing and we were about to fucking sign off and the goddamn thing cut off at the end.
Yeah.
That sucks.
But yeah, I mean this is Tom Hanks. I would say this is like in probably my top 5 Tom Hanks movies. For me personally, I think Big will always be like my favorite Tom Hanks movie. And then like Toy Story, obviously, but I think this is probably like probably like 3 or 4. I just love Tom Hanks in this movie. What about you guys? Like, where does the Burbs kind of rank for you in his?
It's I'd say maybe in the top 5 with me. It's just like Tom Hanks has made so many fucking movies. Like I'm a fan of like random Tom Hanks movies. Like I really like A League of Their Own because I saw it like in the theaters at the time, and like I think it's still like a really like good movie. Shit.
I don't think I've ever seen A League of Their Own actually.
It's a
Really?
good baseball movie. Like
Great movie, dude.
like Tom Hanks plays at the time like kind of it's almost like he's playing a Nick Nolte character, like kind of like a like disheveled like old like you know baseball has been. But yeah, like you said though, this is definitely up there. Uh, Big is like another one that would definitely be in the top 5. He has like this like whole like charm to him where he could literally be like just kind of like a goofball, like he kind of is in that, or not necessarily a goofball, but like a well-meaning kind of, you know,
Endearing.
yeah, exactly. Uh, he could do that, but he can also do like very like serious, like in-depth roles. So yeah, dude, definitely like one of my favorite Tom Hanks movies.
Has
They're going across the street. They're all banded together going across the street with the fucking food truck. I looked up and it just made me laugh really hard.
It's one of those things in real life you would immediately call the cops if you saw anybody doing it. 3 guys like all like in a group like trying to go across the street together.
This movie's so good.
That's
yeah,
so
definitely a top 5 Hanks, and I'm very unbiased to like Tom Hanks 80s movies and not so much his serious stuff. Not that he's not like really fucking great in pretty much anything he does, but like I'm more biased towards the comedic Tom Hanks. I like that. I like that movie Bachelor Party. I think that's a pretty
yeah, dude. That like back at so
it's a really early one.
yeah, the original Donkey Show of a movie. Yeah.
This
I like that movie. Yeah,
like that kind of stuff too, dude. I fucking
like he did comedy like really good like in the beginning of his or at least the first like few years of his career. Not saying he like didn't do good afterwards, but
he was in this show like I was probably like 8 or 9. It was on. They'd showed in syndication on fucking USA. It was called Bosom Buddies, and it was a it was a fucking sitcom where him and his friend like dress up like women for some reason. I don't remember why, but I just remember them.
I remember. I never watched this show, but I remember the plot of it from like shows like I love the '80s and shit.
Yeah,
like they do it for like tax reasons or like to get like free rent or not free rent, but like you know.
Oh, it was
Like,
weren't they like college students or something?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it so that they
It-
could get like free like room and board or something? Like, wasn't that?
Prob-
I think that might have been it. Yeah. So,
I think
something,
I
but like
vaguely remember. I vaguely remember Bosom Buddies.
a show that would go over really well nowadays.
Yeah. Oh my god, that show would get. Oh my god, that show would get ripped
It would
apart
get
now.
canceled faster than Saved by the Bell, right?
yeah, dude.
But
But it's funny because the tone of this movie I'm looking at right now, like the way it looks, you're like, it could easily be a straight horror movie.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
it really teeters that line. I think
Yeah.
where like really the only thing is that the characters, if the characters just played it straight, it's a straight up horror movie.
Yeah.
Um.
But it's weird in the sense that like it looks like a horror movie, and like it's pretty like comedic, but then when you see the characters in question here, they're like the creepiest fucking people.
Yeah.
Like you're like, yeah, this could be a horror movie.
It's been a little bit since I've watched it, but don't they? There's a part where like they're all in like these like black shrouds and shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and they're and
I haven't watched it in a while.
or whatever, it looks like they're. Doesn't it look like they're like digging graves or something?
It looks very.
Yeah, there's like a story. The kid tells the story that like they were spying on them at night and they were in the backyard digging holes. And they're
Yeah.
like, are they grave diggers?
And I think it's Tom Hanks is such like his own style of comedy. Like it is very much like his comedy. I don't think there's really been another actor that has had comedic roles like him. Because again, he does have sort of this like endearing quality, but it's also like he's almost like stressed out all the time, like in Big,
Yes.
especially in the beginning, he's just so stressed out.
Yeah.
And it's really funny, and so I think that that really sort of plays well into this movie, where I think if you had like I think if you had someone say like Michael Keaton, who at the time was also doing kind of comedy stuff like this, if
Similarly,
him in the role, he would have been a lot more like spastic and like animated.
I'm the neighbor with the most.
there's a Michael Keaton movie that I fucking love, and I don't even think it's on DVD or anything. It's called Gung Ho.
Dude, I love your shirt. I'm sorry, but I
thank
just
you.
saw what your shirt is, and I want that shirt.
It feels like every episode we compliment.
I know,
Chris on
dude, that
whatever
shirt is so fucking awesome.
He has like random good fucking shirt games. It's always like mid conversation. It's like, yeah, I like this. Can I just stop for a second? I like that shirt.
Yeah, dude, that
At
shirt
the
is
risk
so
of
fucking dope.
sounding really weird, the way I have my dresser set when I like put my clothes away, like I have a drawer that just has pants in it or whatever, but there are 3 other drawers on it, and my shirts are like categorized. Like I have a drawer full of wrestling shirts, I have a drawer full of horror shirts, and then I have a drawer that's like comic book / like band shirts. That's not good. And now it's October, so all I'm doing is going into the horror drawer, man, and just picking a new shirt for the day.
Yeah, you have them labeled. You have them labeled too, like Wrestling Wednesdays. Like,
yeah, and like in the tag, I write my initials, so it's it.
Yeah, sorry. I had to say that because I was staring at that shirt and I was like, "Holy fuck, that's awesome."
I actually, it was something. I started going to Monster Mania in 2011, and Fright Rags would always have a table there, and I saw this shirt the first time, and they're like, "Oh, these are the we just have the women's ones," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then they like their shit goes out of print for a while or whatever. I went in Rochester. I went to a screening of Friday the 13th Part 7, I think, and Fright Rag sponsored the screening, and the guy was introducing the movie. He was like, "Oh, there's a special offer tonight," and hold on, I'll show you. There was a special offer for this. They were bringing back this shirt, and they're like, "You can order it from here." And I got the shirt, and it came with this.
Oh, nice.
Was there like a toy or something with it?
No, it's just a card. Like
To turn up
like
their
an
one.
action figure. It's like an action figure, but just the card.
Okay.
And then the back has like
It's
like
that all too familiar image from everybody's childhood.
That's
it's an
so
80s
cool.
It's an 80s GI Joe box, and it even has like a little fake price tag on it.
Oh no shit! That's all. Yeah. That's really cool, dude.
So they gave that offer, and we were sitting in the theater chairs, and I was like, I feel like I've been waiting forever for this shirt to come back or be in print. And I fucking was sitting in the theater chair, and I was on my phone like, yep, I'm ordering that right now. This was the horror shirt that caught my fucking eye, like, before I had horror shirts. So
it's awesome. It's like,
I love this shirt.
Yeah, dude. I need more Jason shirts. I only have 2 Jason shirts, and I don't really wear them that much, but I need more.
I get in trouble with shirts because I'll follow like a bunch of those internet designers
who
do like cool like this type of shit. And I follow like Fright Rags and like Cavity Colors, and they'll drop a collection that's like a movie. Like I have fucking like 3 Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, whatever shirts. They did the House of the Devil ones, Silent Night or Black Christmas and Silent Night, Deadly Night. Like I had to like fucking stop going on Instagram for a while because I just keep buying shirts. I'm like, that's fucking cool. I like that.
I don't know. I need to start buying horror shirts again. I've been buying like nostalgic like t-shirts. Like I'm wearing like an All That shirt right now. Like I've just been buying 90s Nickelodeon shirts.
I just watched a documentary. I just watched a video on YouTube about that was called "What Happened to Lori Beth Denver."
Dude, I watched that. Oh my god, dude!
What's it about?
I watched that.
It just says, the big girl from All That. They're like, what happened to her? And they just basically talk about her career and then like what's going on with her now.
Dude, she's an ordained minister now.
Are you serious?
She's an ordained minister, but she like plans your dream wedding or some shit.
Yeah, like she's got like a whole. I mean, she's like, she aged a little weird.
She's old in the face.
I
want to say, dude, every time they showed a recent photo of her, I was like, I think she's just old in the eyes. Like,
yeah, she's. I mean, even when she was in All That, she looked like she was like in her 30s.
Oh, dude,
she was 18. She was 18 at the time.
Oh. Yeah, when All That started, she was the oldest cast member. She was like 18.
God damn. I remember in All That her like little news segment where she would just like she would read some question and then basically just shit talk whoever was asking.
Oh yeah,
she was like Mama June.
No doubt she was fucking awesome on that show. Like everything. Remember we did Dodgeball and she was in that?
Yeah.
I'm not wearing any panties.
My head's in the crack.
Dude, that's like such a torture. That's more torturous than anything in that movie. The sadness is Justin Long being like, ooh, ooh.
Dude, I realize that we've completely gone off topic, but I do just want to say one thing.
Oh yeah,
Justin Long has had the wildest career.
Yo, he's killing it, bro.
Dude, I love Justin Long, but he like Galaxy Quest and Dodgeball, and then like Jeepers Creepers and like The Wave. I rewatched one of my favorite, like it's a romance movie, but it's called Comet. It's like one of my favorite movies. It's Justin Long and Emmy Rossum. It's just really good. And then he was in that movie recently called The Wave with
you never watched it, but you haven't watched The Goat yet. Barbarian.
No.
Barbarian. No, I thought you were talking about an actual movie.
Yeah, I was like,
oh yeah. I was like, does he get turned into a goat in that?
Like, is it like a prequel to Tusk?
Yeah.
I remember like, see, it was weird at the time because he was doing like Accepted and
That's a good
Dodgeball,
movie.
and then out of left field they're like Justin Long starring in Jeepers Creepers. And I'm like, whoa, this dude's in a horror movie, like.
Mhm.
And
He
I
was
feel like
put
he's
in
been
some
doing
crazy
that his
shit,
whole
like
career, like just kind of taking these roles that you're like, oh, that's the funny guy, or
Well, he was also in he was in like a he was in this really weird movie called The Sasquatch Gang where
Yeah. Oh, dude, where he plays a weird neighbor who's like, they're like, we're gonna repossess your car. He's like, I don't care, nerd.
yeah,
Like, and he like lights like the shit on fire as he's walking away. And the guy's just like, "Oh, okay,
and he had
dude,
like
that
a
was a
really
good movie.
weird like
I
shitty southern
actually,
accent.
I like that movie
Oh,
more
I
than I
love that
liked
movie.
Napoleon Dynamite because they're
Yeah,
both kind of very similar tones.
yeah. Oh,
Like,
they yeah, very similar. John Heater's in The Sasquatch Gang. He's
where is he in that?
when the kids go to the laser tag place, John Heater's like the laser tag like guy.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um,
It's
dude,
a
The
very like
Sasquatch Gang is
random.
such a good movie. It's so
Okay,
stupid, but it's
want to
so
go
good.
out in the woods? Like, yeah, sure, let's go out in the woods. It's
Yeah,
like that kind of like attitude, but it is very like funny and shit.
it's funny. And then like you said, Accepted, and that's an awesome movie. I love that movie. Um,
Uh,
yeah,
ask me about my wiener.
this-
dude, that's early, early. Oh, why can't I think of his name now? Um,
His name is Jonah Hill.
yeah, yeah, that's early Jonah Hill.
Yeah, very.
Sometimes he's fat, sometimes he's not. Like, I don't know his name.
It's like
Pretty
that
good.
scene. This reminds me of that scene in that one episode of Always Sunny when they're talking about Mac, and he's like, he's like,
Hey, he's
he's
straight.
skinny, he's fat, he's straight, he's gay. I don't even know anymore.
It's like just ignore. It's like
Oh
just
my
ignore him.
So yeah, this movie.
Yeah, the Burbs.
The Burbs.
I don't know. I was just
We're
rolling.
still on the
I
Burbs.
was rolling with this off-topic shit.
Yeah,
We're
Sorry,
yeah, that was,
sorry, the
that was kind of
Burbs.
my fault.
If this were
sorry,
a talk-
sorry, the
if this
Burbs.
were a talk show, it's me like we had a guest and
This
just
episode-
talk to like our side host the entire.
This episode is called "Whatever the Fuck We Want." Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Holy shit.
Oh shit!
Well-
you know what a movie that would I think would work with the topic is Tucker and Dale.
Yeah, yeah. I would say that's very much. I would say that's a little bit closer to like a it's a horror comedy that I would say kind of leans a little bit more into the horror.
I'd almost consider this like the Frighteners in terms of like, I mean, it doesn't go as horror as the Frighteners did, but in terms of a lighter tone, and it's like Frighteners has some like, you know, fucked up shit in it, but it always seems to have this almost like Spielberg tone to it,
Yeah,
like which I kind of felt here a little bit. Like, I mean, a lot of movies kind of had that at the time, so.
I think another movie that kind of rides that line, or well, a movie that I would say is definitely more comedy than horror is Shaun of the Dead.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I love Shaun of the Dead. That's
Shaun of
definitely
the
one of my
Dead,
like Edgar Wright movie.
oh yeah, like I love Edgar Wright as a director. I even loved his last movie, Last Night in Soho.
Dude, that was so good.
I like that movie a
It was
lot.
really
I
good.
thought it was
Shaun of
like
the Dead.
really fucking well done. Like I was interested through the whole.
Shaun of
the
the Dead
whole-
is the best horror comedy of all time. There's nothing that beats Shaun of the Dead in horror
Well,
comedy.
dude,
In horror
it's the
comedy.
only horror comedy. It's the only horror comedy aside from Night of the Creeps where like I genuinely like got teary eyed in it. Like
Yeah.
because you give a shit. By the end of it, you give a shit about these characters.
Right.
You know, like when Nick Frost character, when Ed gets fucking bitten, you're like, fuck, like
Yeah.
that's like a genuine, and like same thing like when his mother, when you find out she's it's like
Right.
a genuinely like well like character driven movie.
Oh yeah.
Um,
And like you said, like similar with like with this, it's really like this movie is not lazy by any means.
No.
Yeah.
it's I mean it's a well-made well directed, well act. I mean, everyone
Up there,
is
man.
like all the actors are doing a great job.
Everybody's on their game.
Like we even said like Corey Feldman, and this is Corey Feldman kind of towards like the end of his run of like
Yeah. Before his direct-to-video, before he got blown away.
yeah, before he started like doing like Michael Jackson covers and stuff.
Yeah, before he like became like a Michael Jackson doppelganger and
Dude, have
started
you
like.
listened to Corey Feldman's music?
No,
Dude, there's a podcast called The Bonfire that fucking makes fun of that shit like all the time.
My friend made me listen to like some of his songs, and I was just like, "Get this shit off of my TV now."
very sorry.
Dude, they're like,
Right.
dude, the podcast I listen to, like they show the video of them on the Today Show, and there's this like guitar, like you know how all his like band members are like just like kind of like cracked out girls, and they're like like angel costumes basically.
Because he's kind of a cracked out girl too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The girl, like they pause on this like girl like standing right behind him holding a bass, and her eyes are just like completely dead. And they're just impersonating her. They're like, man, I could just take this bass and catch him like right in the back of the head, and I can escape all this.
Oh my god.
Yo, side note, this man just came outside dressed like he's going to play golf in the 80s, and I just need to know why golfers purposely dress terribly to play golf.
Why they all dress like Robert Stack?
He has like the dude had these like St. Patrick's Day green pants on, a plaid one of those plaid like fucking Irishman caps,
Yeah.
fucking
Up on the morning, yeah.
polo with lines with an Argyle sweater.
Sweater
It-
vest or a sweater?
It was a sweater vest. It was an Argyle sweater vest with like a long sleeve underneath that had like a fucking line pattern.
Yo, because the drip game is like so intense that they need to let people know that they have the drip.
If I'm the most ridiculously dressed is the best at golf. Is that what we're?
Yeah, dude. The
Were you
most
like, were you like
most
Shooter
ridiculously
McGavin? Get the
dressed.
fuck out of the way.
No, dude. The most ridiculously dressed is definitely the most dripped out, and they're definitely the best golfer.
The most golfed out.
Golfed out motherfuckers. Yo,
Shoot-
I
Got
seriously,
Shooter McGavin over here.
I don't think I've watched so many movies in like 2 days. This is insane. And now now just thinking about October and how tomorrow they're dropping like 38 things that I need to watch immediately.
Well, yeah, they're dropping Werewolf by Night, and there's dropping one on Shudder. I've been curious about too.
They're dropping Hellraiser.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
Hellraiser
Yeah.
tomorrow. I'm fucking stoked for that. That's been getting really good reviews too.
Yeah. Everyone says it's at least like interesting. Like, I'm not going in with like high expectations. I'm not a huge Hellraiser fan. I like the first 3 originals.
I like the first two and Deader. The one with
like
Henry Cavill.
Oh yeah.
Is that the
Oh,
one with
no,
Greg
it's
Shepard?
isn't that hellworld.com, the one with
Yeah.
Henry Cavill?
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
which one do you like? I hope it's the one with Craig Sheffer because the rest of them
Yeah.
suck.
Oh, dude, they're
Dude,
terrible.
they're not Hellraiser movies. They're just like fucking movies that got Pinhead added to
Well,
them.
you guys know that Scott
like-
Derrickson directed a Hellraiser movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one he's talking about, the
Yeah.
one with Craig Sheffer.
Yeah, that wasn't even supposed to be a Hellraiser movie.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, dude, none of them were. They like 3 of them in a row like weren't supposed to be
Yeah, I
Hellraiser
think it was
movies.
four.
The internet one. The internet one was not supposed to be a Hellraiser
Okay.
movie, and it's like they're like, hey, we got this idea for a new buddy cop movie. They're like, hey, we're about to lose the license to fucking Hellraiser, so
Well, dude, you know
Pinhead
how
in
like
there at the end, we're good to go.
you know how like a
Right
lot of
Pinhead in here.
you know how like a lot of really cheesy DJs will just like be like playing a song, and all of a sudden they'll just introduce like Mortal Kombat. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's basically what those 3
basically
Hellraiser movies were. It's like a completely different movie. And then
Yeah.
they just randomly have Pinhead.
What it's
That's like their Mortal Kombat.
Yo, the one has the guy from the insurance commercials in it. The fucking
mayhem or mayhem, yeah.
Yeah, one of them has the fucking mayhem.
That's
the one
Mayhem
right after the one that Scott
Story.
Derrickson directed.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought Scott Derrickson directed the Craig Sheffer one.
Yeah, he directed like the 5th one.
Yeah, the one with where like it's almost like Jacob's Ladder.
Kind of, yeah.
That's the 5th one.
He
That's
directed that, like
where the
it's
cop
like
is chasing the murderer.
It's like a fucking murder mystery story.
Yeah, the cop is chasing the murderer, and it turns out that like he's been the murderer the whole time.
Yeah.
For all
And it ends
intents
with
and
him
purposes,
basically just
good.
reliving Groundhog Day, but in like a
They're like, that'll teach you, guy from Nightbreed.
Yeah. They'll teach you to randomly have a piece of paper stapled to your chest in the last act with no explanation. No, that's a good movie though.
It was a good movie. I liked that one. Actually.
Yeah, except for like
I don't know if it's like
unnecessary Hellraiser stuff. It's a good movie.
It's like a detective movie with, or like a police drama with like maybe 5 minutes worth of Cenobite scenes. They're just kind of there.
Whenever I watch that one, like I want to see what that movie was supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I want them to take out the Hellraiser stuff because it just doesn't work. The Chatter Cenobite is only like a torso with arms. Like that's all he is in it.
Dude, I did it to myself a couple years ago. I actually was like, all right, I'm gonna start from part 1 and I'm gonna watch all the Hellraiser movies, and I did it, and I fell asleep a lot, so it took me longer than it should have. But I made it, and boy, fucking terrible ass movies.
Is it part 9 or 10 that has like the great value pinhead? You got the pinhead that like you got from Wish.
Like Revelation or one of those. There's one that's
like Judgment or something.
Yeah, they're both pretty bad, but there's one where it's like some dude, they're holed up at some house and some kid's a drug addict or something, and
that's the one that starts out. It starts out found footage, and like they first encounter Pinhead. The guy's like, get out of here, and Pinhead's like, no.
Okay, so hold on. So we gotta hang up.
Hey, we're back.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just gonna title this fuck it.
This is gonna be called The Burbs and a lot of other stuff.
What started on the Burbs?
A little bit of the Burbs and a whole lot of other stuff.
Yo.
Sorry, the Burbs.
Sorry, the Burbs. It's a great it's an amazing
like we did go kind of into a discussion about like, you know, a lot of random movies, but
that
still like you said though, like this is like one of the standout like PG movies at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Sure. This was definitely one of those like if it were made 10 years later, this movie definitely would have been like PG-13.
Yeah, at least PG. Like it's weird how long that barrier stretched there before the PG-13 rating. I mean, come on, like look at Jaws, like that's PG.
Well, it was what? It was Indiana Jones. Was it the second one that?
Because the second one I think was PG-13.
Yeah, that was the first PG-13. That was a movie that they were like, we need to implement PG-13.
Yeah, they were like, yo, this guy's on the screen ripping out hearts.
Yeah.
PG. Sorry. That movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
That's why they made it PG-13, because they were like, it's not quite like hard enough to be an R movie, but it's not kid friendly.
Dude, it's absolutely my favorite Indiana Jones movie, but it scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid with all that bullshit.
I like to use the phrase an R-rated movie for kids. Like that's what I would like call like, you know.
Look, dude,
some of the more famous ones.
RoboCop was out here shooting people's dicks off, and he had a toy line. Okay.
Yeah, well, dude, everything had a toy line. Alien had a toy line.
Rambo.
Rambo had a toy line. Like,
one of the RoboCop figure had that, like the girl being like held hostage, and he shoots through her fucking like skirt to shoot the guy in the dick. Like,
yeah, I
like
don't,
that
I
kind
don't
of movie.
know. Literally everything had toys. Like, literally everything had toys.
Dude, like dude, Aliens, like you remember, like dude,
Yeah,
people get fucking ripped apart in Aliens, and I had like several like those toys.
I know
Dude.
Predator had toys also.
There was no
There was an Alien versus Predator action figure series that I think I had like one of each.
Obviously in the 80s there was no internet, so they would use toy lines
for marketing.
They're fucking like syndicated or Saturday cartoons. Like they'd come up with the figure designs, slap a name on it, and they'd go to a writer and be like, "Hey, write us a Saturday morning kids show, G.I. Joe, Transformers, fucking
Street Sharks.
He-Man."
Street Sharks, yeah, Street Sharks was.
They made the He-Man line of toys, and then they asked somebody to fucking create like they're like, we have this. They're like, create a mythology and this and that, and then they're like, we're coinciding these toys with the TV show.
I didn't know that the toy came before Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, dude. Same with Ninja Turtles. You know, they had like a lot of those like toys, like based on characters. A lot of them were toys before they were like ever characters.
Ninja Turtles was different. Ninja Turtles was
Ninja Turtles stands out because it gave us a great comic book and a great movie, or two ways, a great comic book and b a really good movie. The original 1991 I'm talking about.
Yo, Secret of the Ooze is still awesome.
No, it's good. I'm just saying I consider the original one a great movie.
Hang on. I have to say that the comic book came first, and it was independent, and it was not for children. So the 80s, when they got the license for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they purposely made it kid friendly, and that's where we got like the cartoon versions and going forward. But the 90s movie was based on the comic book that came before the
kids TV show. I mean, thank God. Like it, you know what I mean? I don't think they're gonna be able to make a better movie than that. You know what I mean? Like I think that's a really hard movie to top if you're a fan like of the source material.
They're never gonna do that again.
I don't.
Almost certain that they make it like that again. I don't know.
Well, I
feel like
Seth Rogen is producing.
They like snuck that shit in there. They're like, kids know the name, they'll go see it. And they go see it, and Raphael's fucking swearing at you.
I'm definitely like gonna watch any kind of like Ninja Turtle shit like they like send out going forward, but I'm going with realistic expectations. Like
there's supposed to be a new Ninja Turtles movie coming out like I think next year or something that Seth Rogen is producing.
There's what's it going to? It's either going to like Netflix or Hulu or
I think it's animated too.
Yeah,
it's animated, but I don't know. I like that animated one that came out in like 2000.
TMNT.
Yeah. I like that one.
Good. That was good. That was a Nickelodeon movie too.
It's a good movie.
When did the animated series of Ninja Turtles come out?
Late
87.
87?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
It went from like 87 to 97. Then there was like a 5-year pause. Then they did the one that was on Fox Kids, which I like too.
Well, it's one of those properties too that like it was big like when I was like a little kid, but then like the Power Rangers came in, then like X-Men and Batman.
Do you remember the Power Rangers Ninja Turtles crossover?
Oh shit, yeah. Well, that
was so good.
That came out like
I was gonna say you guys might have been a little too old for that at that time because that was like Power Rangers like Galaxy or in Space or something. That was when I was like 7 or 8.
I have the sickest DVD on the planet, and it's called Turtles Forever, and it's an animated movie that has the comic book Turtles, the 87 Turtles, and the 2003 Turtles all together. What's up?
Is that the one you let me borrow like however many years ago?
Probably.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that. That was
the
fun.
greatest thing ever. Yes.
Well, literally references every like incarnation of
Yes, that's what I really like about it. So good.
And really though, like I think nowadays like another movie that would be rated PG-13 at least came out now. Like it has some like fucking dark ass scenes.
The first one?
Not just literally, but you know.
The first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, Casey Jones in that movie is what would make that movie PG-13. That's why they took him out of the second one, was because parents complained about Casey Jones.
And then fans were like, "Where's Casey Jones?" And the third one, they're like, "Put him in some Japanese robes and have him be a goofball the whole movie and not do anything Casey Jones like."
Have him babysit a bunch of guys from feudal Japan.
Actually, you know what's kind of crazy? Speaking of Corey Feldman, Ninja Turtles 1 and 3, Corey Feldman was Donatello.
Yeah,
Yes.
and a very good Donatello,
He's
like in my
really
opinion.
Bossa Nova.
Well, but no, like I forgot what I was gonna say. Like you said, like Casey Jones is like the main reason that movie is like because he's a very like dark character, a very sarcastic character. There's like a scene in it where Donatello's like he's like you're a claustrophobic, and fucking Casey Jones is like, hey, what do you want to punch? It's like, what do you want, a black eye? I've never even looked at another guy.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that reminds me, I was watching the Monster Squad, and in a matter of 5 minutes, when they're talking to the principal about their troubles in school because they keep drawing and all that shit, and they're walking down the hallway before he bumps into that teacher, he's like, yeah, he's like, and they're all homoing out. He's like, you don't learn about homoing out. He's like, you learn about sex and homoing out in like 12th grade, blah blah blah. And then like 2 minutes later, there's a scene where they say the F word like 13 times to that fat kid. I'm like, whoa! But then I think about it. I'm like, 1987. I was like, this is how people spoke. Like, or this is how kids fucking like. I want to be like, ooh, but I'm like, well, this is exactly how kids talked in the 80s. I was like, I don't know anything about homoing off because I've never heard anyone say that, but I kind of got what he was saying. And then I watched The Gate the other day, and they're like, you two guys fagging off in here? Like, what? Who the fuck said that? Like, yes. I feel like yes, kid did say like everybody used like a homosexual slur or whatever. If you grew up during the time that I grew up, I used to sling the F word like nobody's business. But you know,
I mean that's kind of
just how it was. Like we didn't know.
Dude, that's how it was until about like 10 years ago, honestly.
Basically,
it's kind of universal though. Like
people sling words around, and they don't like. I know there's people that don't necessarily mean it like that, and I mean, I guess I'm glad that like people like kind of chilled out on it. But I think 9 times out of 10, people are just saying it because like, yeah, I heard it said and used as like you're an idiot or some other kind of use. But
oh yeah, well, I mean, like that's kind of like the same way when like people would say like that's gay. Like they never actually like this is homosexual.
Yeah, it's like
you meant like
never meant it like oh it's
stupid. Instead of saying oh this is dumb, you're like yeah this is gay.
Yeah.
Like,
what do you call it? I mean that's universal though. Like kids just naturally between like around like that 10 area especially like
dude, they have the worst.
They have no filter. Like and it doesn't matter which generation. They just have no filter.
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
At Dash's the other day, like at Dash's the other day, there was like this. I mean, this kid looked like he was like 8, and he was throwing around the "See you next Tuesday," and I was like, "Bro, what the fuck are you doing?"
Yo, what?
Yeah, I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yo, dude, when fucking I ordered from Outback Steakhouse the other night. I ordered curbside delivery, and they're doing construction or shit like out in front. So I had
Yeah.
to like go like on the like down the side of the building and park in front of this karate studio. And I go inside to get my food, and like I'm walking back, and there's like this 10-year-old kid in a karate gi. And he's like he's like, why is everybody always parking over here? And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. It's like, dude, I swear.
Why
I
does he
think
have a belt
I was like, I
problem?
think it's because they're doing construction over there, but like,
Just like
I'm
the
like, driving away right now.
Like, why
This
is
is
he having adult complaints?
yeah. Just
Why
like
is everybody
10-year-old
parking
Like,
over
why
here?
dude, I almost said that. I was like, why did they send you out? There's like several grown men in there, and they send out the little kid.
They send him out. You talk back. He kicks your ass for like
Yeah,
no
he
reason.
just-
I was
he just
thinking
beats the shit
afterwards,
out
I
of
was
you.
like, he was like really friendly and everything about it. He was just like frustrated, but I was just thinking like if that escalated and me getting like my legs swept and like choked out on the curb by like a 10-year-old kid.
He just like crane kicks. He just crane kicks your like your food out of your hands.
It ends up going viral.
He's like, he like kicks your food. He's like, fuck your steak.
he kicks my food out of my hands and then just fucking spin kicks it when it starts going back down.
Spin kicks it, and you watch it smash all over the building.
He just mad dogs me as I like just drive away.
Oh my god.
This is the best episode we've ever done.
This episode is a fucking mess.
This is amazing. I don't care. I'm having a great time.
This is the episode where we realize we need to make a sketch comedy show.
We never just shoot the shit and talk random things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, we did talk about the Burbs and PG movies that, wouldn't be PG nowadays.
Yeah, we're sprinkling it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but our topic wasn't PG movies.
So
we mentioned Jaws and
we talked about
Jaws.
What
the horror comedies. Yeah.
And where they teeter and totter.
Yeah.
Well, what about like movies like Gremlins, where it's like,
dude,
I think that would be PG-13.
It's PG.
Yeah, I mean,
terrifying.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean though. Like, it's a very like, I saw it for the Gremlins. I'm weird with because I saw it for the very first time when I was recovering in the hospital, and I'm literally like sitting there like I couldn't even like get out of bed. But that movie came on for the first time seeing it on TBS, I think it was, and fucking loved it, dude. It's a great movie. But it's a very adult movie. In terms of like,
aren't our topic today, though.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Corey is insisting that PG.
Yeah, Corey's like, no, we're talking about
like,
the
no, fuck
system
you guys.
now.
I wrote down PG movies. I'm talking about PG movies.
Can you tell I smoked before I did? No,
not at all.
It's like, cause it's like,
that's why I feel like it's a lot of the reason we're like all over the place. I'm definitely high.
Like, it's like you got the letter P and you got the letter G. Put them together. What do you get? You get two parents guiding you to a fun movie. That's what you get. That would be me trying to describe a PG movie.
Totally gone off the rails.
This is amazing. That right there, that's the clip, man.
Yeah, that is the clip.
Together, you got parents guiding you to a fun movie. Yo. Oh, that was amazing.
Just
why is this kid, this fucking weirdo in the movie is dressed like a fucking yodeler?
In Lederhosen?
Yeah. Fucking, he's got that stupid hat on with the feather in it.
It's like in Beer Fest. Like,
yeah.
Where are we going, Mr. Spittle Sprackle? It's Speargleason.
Dude,
the
Man,
It's
I
so,
love Broken
dude. It's so immature. But one of the funniest
That's what
things,
makes it so good.
and one of the funniest things in that movie to me is the running joke where like the grandma's always handling the big ass sausage and shit. Like that is one of the, I don't know why, dude. It's so immature and
Oh,
childish, but
fuck.
it's fucking hilarious to me.
Dude,
Did
dude, that scene where he's like talking about how he fucked the guy's wife. He's like, he's like, how about that time it was me, your wife, and Silo Johnson? He's like, yeah, I bet you didn't know it was a three-way, was it?
Oh, yeah.
have you guys watched? It's another Broken Lizard movie. Club Dread.
Yes.
Love it. Yeah.
I fucking
Pina,
love Club
Pina
Dread.
Colada Berg, bro.
Kind of really not a bad slasher either.
Dude, it's a great slasher. That's
Yeah,
a really good horror comedy. That
I
definitely
feel like it's the one.
The
I feel
horror
like it's
works
the
in
one
it.
people shit
How
on the
cool
most
it is.
too, which is kind of weird. Like I think it's really good. I think pretty much everything they've done is great. Oh,
Oh yeah, Slam and
dude,
Salmon.
I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about Barbarian, and I'm like, so when I saw Barbarian, I'm looking at it. It's like the credits are rolling. I'm like, why does that director's name sound familiar? So they did an interview with him, and I find out he's he's one of the guys from The Whitest Kids You Know, because he talked about the other movie he directed. He was like, he's like, it was pretty much a failure, but I directed a movie called Miss March. And he said, he was like, me and my partner Trevor, which is Trevor Moore, who accidentally died last year, I think.
Wait,
But
he accidentally died?
yeah, he fell off his balcony or something.
Oh shit, that's
But it was really kind of weird to hear that a guy from The Whitest Kids You Know directed Barbarian.
God, I fucking loved Whitest Kids You Know.
Yeah, dude, that show is fucking awesome.
Dude, Abraham Lincoln. What really happened to Abraham Lincoln is still my favorite Whitest Kids.
That and the Hitler rap are like my two favorite sketches from that show. What? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Listen to the woman, John. Just calm down. Just calm down. Hey, Acty. Start over, because this fat piece of shit was talking.
Why don't you just sit down, you fat piece of shit? You skinny bitch. Dude, did you notice in the beginning of that sketch that they're doing a version of Hamlet, but it's
vampires.
It's vampires.
Yeah. Holy shit, Hamlet! I just got bit by a fucking vampire.
Dude, they have one where it's the guy you were talking about, the director, who's like he's just been shot in the woods by the dude, sorry, I forgot his name, the dude who recently passed away, and like he's got like a little kid with him. It turns out the little kid accidentally like shot him or whatever, like he mistook him for a deer who's just another hunter in the woods. And the guy's like pleading, he's like, please, I got a wife and kids, like please stop. And he's like the old guy's like sitting behind him, he's like, you know, Jimmy, like kids grow up to be men, and men have agendas against the people that killed their father, so you might want
to do you guys remember the reverse psychology sketch? Like, guys, like our friend just discovered reverse psychology, don't listen to him. Then it's just like, guys, whatever you do, don't suck my dick, it would hurt so bad. Whatever you do, don't pin me down and suck my dick. I would
absolutely don't.
Guys, we should totally suck his dick.
Like they had a bunch of like random like short sketches. Like one of them is like the dude just coming out of the bathroom like with his dick out and he's peeing and he's like, and it stops him and he's like, oh come on, it was going for 14 minutes before I decided to finally.
The one where he's dressed like a fucking 70s pimp and he puts the emphasis on everything that starts with whore or hoe. And he's like, it's deplorable.
Or what was the other one, like the slow jerk? When I think it's it is like going like And he's just like, no, you can't do it that slow. You have to do it fast. Why are you doing it so slow?
Dude, that Hitler rap is out of control. He's like, I've turned over a new leaf. Instead of burning people, no, I'm burning CDs.
Did you guys ever listen to I think it's just called like the Whitest Kids CD, where
No.
oh
I didn't
my
know
god,
there was.
it's really fucked up, but it's funny because he's like, it's literally just like I'll send it to you guys in the group chat, but it's like, he's like, hi, how was your day? How was school? They did. They think they're so fucking smug, don't they? I bet they wouldn't be so smug if we brought a fucking gun to school.
There's a Bloodhound Gang song that I listen to like every once in a while, just when I'm in a bad mood. And this chorus is like, you can't have fun with an unloaded gun. My dad says that's for pussies.
Holy shit. Even goes back to that.
The lyrics are just like fucked up shit a fucking old school dad would say.
Oh, funny though, like you even think back to like the Eminem days, like I think it was on like the Marshall Mathers LP or whatever, where that like skit where it's like his manager yelling at him. He's like, it's like, God damn it, Slim, I'm trying to run records here, and I got you rapping about homosexuals and Vicodin.
Yeah. Yeah.
My favorite skits, no matter how anybody feels about them, were Insane Clown Posse albums. Like, there's one where he's like, where like the guy calls the fucking studio and he's like, yeah, I need to speak to who's in charge. He's like, yeah, what's going on? He's like, I got a truck full of fake pussies for the Insane Clown Posse. And he's like, what am I supposed to do with them? I can't quite possibly fuck them all.
Well, do you guys remember it was when Eminem was doing like the Ken Kniff stuff, and there was like the one skit where Ken Kniff was obviously like having like a three-way with Shaggy, Two Dope, and Silent J, and like at the end, like he's like super pissed off, and he's just like, all right, you know what, fuck you guys, I'm out of here, and then the guy's just like, great going, Shaggy.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Great going.
My favorite Ken Kniff is when he's when they bring him out at the end of that one album and he's like, guess who's back?
Oh yeah.
Tell some men.
Well, he also did that on Relapse when like it was Ken Kniff, but he was like, it was at like an NA meeting or something, and like the skit starts off with him being with like some guy being like, and now I'm 3 years sober, and then like someone's like, all right, does anyone have something to say? And Eminem's just like, yeah, I got something to say, and then he walks up and he just starts singing "We Made You," but he's like, when you walked through the door, you were queer to me. Cause you're a cock boy. Everybody wants you.
It's Ken Kniff from Connecticut, you little bitch. I just dude, the shit that always gets me when he is that first one when he's just like, oh fuck yeah. He like sounds so ridiculous, but he also almost sounds like Ghostface from Scream.
Kind of, yeah. It's like a really horny Ghostface.
Comedy albums used to be the shit though back then, dude. Like even like fucking Adam Sandler, They're All Gonna Laugh at You. Like that was kind of like my favorite like comedy album at the time.
Man, it came out yesterday in 1993.
I saw your post, yeah.
Yeah, that was.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Dude,
I love how
I had like 3 friends during that time. Like I was in middle school, and dude, we like memorized that shit and would like fucking recite it all the time.
They're gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at him.
Yeah, like how do you make your mind is like, I'm gonna do a skit where it's like parodying the mom from Carrie,
Okay.
Yeah.
and like everybody else act normal.
Well,
Like
dude, I was a little.
that idea just pops in your head for a skit, dude. That's out of control.
Well, I
was-
guarantee it started with Adam probably like making fun of like they're all gonna laugh at you and then just running with it.
Oh yeah.
But the dude, the whole like
and
thing,
the
like, I
fucking-
didn't get it at the time. Like at the
Same.
my older brother like listened to it like beforehand, and then like I listened to it like maybe a year or two later. But like he would say that all the time when I'm like leaving the house, be like, it's like, all right, man, they're all gonna laugh at you.
There was the one
At the
where
time,
he
I'd be
played
like,
fucking like where he played like the mom of some kid, and like the kids are all like, "Hey, mom, we're just gonna go over by the pool, and we're probably gonna go swimming." They're like, "Okay, don't stay in there too long. And you know, when you get out, you can play with your cock and balls from mama." Like what?
Oh my god.
Go ahead, yeah, play with
Dude, funny Adam Sandler is fucking
Funny
is
Adam Sandler is funny.
top notch. It's fucking top notch, dude.
Dude, he could do no wrong, dude. He had skits where he fucking pretended to be a fucking janitor while someone beat him to death and made it fun.
I don't know. Well, dude, like, and now the vicious beating of a janitor.
Although,
But no, dude, there's not a lot of middle ground either. Like, or I mean, there is. I mean, to an extent. Like, he's done some just okay stuff. Like, but dude, when he's great, he's fucking top notch, dude. He's up there with fucking Jim Carrey.
Dude,
You know?
I still love Adam Sandler. I mean, personally, for me, I do like Adam Sandler a little bit more than Jim Carrey, but that's just a personal preference of mine.
Yeah.
I mean, Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore are just like those are probably two of like some of my favorite comedies of just all time.
Yeah, they're lightning in a bottle comedies, basically.
Yeah, they're
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like Eight Crazy Nights, I love Eight Crazy Nights.
It's a technical foul.
Eight Crazy Nights is great.
He's
He's had like his serious stuff's pretty fucking good. And
he's a great dramatic actor.
Punch Drunk Love and
where his comedy has kind of slipped, he like sprinkles a good one here and there, like every couple years. Like he'll make
you can tell he went for the check more than a few times.
One out of his last like four are actually funny when he like makes a comedy, which is fine. Like I like to still be surprised by a fucking Adam Sandler comedy. Like,
yeah,
what was that one kind of that's my boy kind of was like, I was like, oh, another Adam Sandler movie that's gonna be not funny, and I watched it and I was very surprised.
Yeah, I thought it was funny, and I loved when Vanilla Ice is in that movie, and Vanilla Ice is like arguing with him, and Adam Sandler just like, all right, wait, would you just stop, collaborate, and listen? And Vanilla Ice just the shit out of him.
Dude, he has a warped tattoo of New Kids.
Oh yeah, you got a bad tattoo. Their heads are fucking warped.
He's like, why are their heads all warped? He's like, I got it when I was a kid. My body got bigger.
Dude, and then Nick Swartzen in that movie is fucking ridiculous too. Oh, he's just so like angry at the strip club like all the time.
Swartzen was hitting for a couple years.
I mean, he was doing okay. Like, if it wasn't for Adam Sandler, Nick Swartzen would have been nothing. But
he was absolutely hilarious in that. Like, I have no business thinking this movie is funny, but the haunted house movie, the fucking Marlon Wayans joint.
Oh yeah, when he's
I think that movie is absolutely hilarious. Funny. Like, that movie is
he's trying to like fuck Marlon Wayans, but Marlon Wayans like, yo, and he's just like, whoa, dude, whoa.
When he's like, again, dude, like Nick Swartzen, I like him for the most part. Like I like his I forgot what the fucking name of his first stand-up act was.
I like Nick Swartzen in small doses.
Yeah. He's not somebody. He's not like somebody you want to watch for,
Like I
he
tried
said
watching that.
like,
What was his movie? Like Bucky? Was it Bucky Larson? Was that his movie?
oh, dude, I heard that was terrible.
It was. It was very bad. Um, the only Happy Madison person that I kind of like that has like their own movie that I really liked was Dickie Roberts. I love Dickie Roberts. Um,
Because David Spade, he's still like David Spade's all due respect to Nick Swarsden, like still like way better and like way funnier than him.
well,
Like
yeah,
you know
but
what
I
I
mean,
mean?
just the movie itself. I mean, like, you know what I didn't realize the other day, or that Master of Disguise is a fucking Happy Madison movie.
Really?
I
That's
kind of like it. I kind of think that movie's a little bit funny.
It is, dude. I think it's funny. I think it's terrible, but it's
never,
funny.
Are you
I've
not
never
turtly
seen it
enough
because
for
it
the
didn't look
Turtle Club?
appealing at all. It looked like it had no appeal like to me when I was a kid, so I just never
Dude,
saw it.
it's funny. Like,
I just thought it was like, I'm a turtle, I'm a turtle.
like, yeah, she's cute, but she has no mama caboose.
Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
Well, dude, and he does like the Scarface impression. He does the Jaws impression. He does
Dude, it's kind of a fun movie. Like,
it's a fun movie. It's so stupid, but it's fun.
like if you take it at face value, you're like, this is not going to be awesome. Like you're not, you know what you're expecting. You got to know what you're expecting when you go in. And there's some stuff in there that definitely makes me laugh. Like it's not a fucking classic or anything, but dude, it makes me laugh.
I'll
give it a watch.
Well, we have about 5 minutes left.
All right, well, I guess we can wrap it up.
I guess some of it was about the Burbs.
Yeah. So this was
the
our
Burbs, guys.
episode about the Burbs.
Fucking sick movie.
I mean, come on. What can we say about the Burbs that hasn't already been said?
Yeah.
But in all fairness, it became a discussion about shit that, like, for the most part, like, borderline between, like, PG and PG-13.
No, it didn't. That wasn't our topic.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
We did fall off the ball then.
Okay. It was movies. The topic was the Ghostbuster line where he was saying like, where a movie teeters when it's a horror and a comedy when it teeters or whatever.
Our Beetlejuice episode is gonna be about the ratings.
Oh, that's why he's stuck on the. I was like, why is he so stuck on the ratings?
Yeah.
Now I get it. He was just saying the wrong topic, wrong episode. It's okay. He's fine.
Yeah.
Our Beetlejuice episode is going to be about the last season of Stranger Things.
He could just shut up during that episode. Then he said all he had to say about PG. Dude, he hit us with the most classic line I've ever heard on this podcast.
Yeah, that is my favorite thing ever said.
You got your P and you got your G. You put them together, parental guidance into the theater for a fun movie. Dude, that was fucking.
Wouldn't I be the ultimate salesman though for PG?
You just sold PG-13. Like I'm strictly only gonna see PG-13 movies in the theater.
I'm like the Dell guy. I'm just like their spokesman for it. It's like folks, Corey McIntyre here.
Now the only movies I can see are those like ones made for like religious people, like the ones with Greg Kinnear.
Oh, you're gonna start watching like
God's
Not Dead
or Kevin Sorbo.
God's Not Dead. All right.
That'd be awesome if they like if a company like fucking like the Asylum or somebody came out with a movie called Yes He Is, and it's just like a fucking like anti, like they could make money off that.
It's just a picture of Jesus on like a fucking iron cross.
It's like,
we made sure.
So to anyone that is still watching this episode for some reason, thank you. Next week we are talking about Reanimator. So stay more on topic or not.
Oh, I'm gonna watch this again just for this now.
So
it's one of the ones I watch. I had the fucking sick Arrow super duper Blu-ray. So
we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.